happened in that facility did you?
Over there, I was violated. May I say that?
Yes.
I was violated by one of the security guards that were there.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
I was in the elevator. You know, we were going for activities. You know, in in the day room, they call it day room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the elevator got stuck where we couldn't go down to where the activities were.
So did he press a button or something?
He pressed the button to stop the elevator.
Okay.
So I got out of the elevator because I was supposed to be upstairs on my floor.
So what, he took you down to the basement or something? Like,
he took me down to the basement and he proceeded to rape me.
In the chair or on the floor? What happened?
He took me out of my wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And he proceeded to rape me in the laundry room.
In the laundry room of the facility that you were in?
Of the facility that I was in.
Okay.
And
let's not get into the detail, but after it was over.
After it was over, he just picked me up and threw me back in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
And it was horrible.
Yeah, that sounds like it was horrible. This is somebody who was a caretaker in the facility.
Yes,
supposed to be. Guard. He was a security guard trying to secure the place, and he was violating you. What's his name? You remember his name?
Hiram Rapper.
Hiram Rapper?
Yes.
And what was the name of the facility?
Oh God. Grand Manor.
Grand Manor.
Grand Manor in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that happened. Did you call the police and report it? What happened? Did you get him locked up after that?
Unfortunately, I couldn't, not that I couldn't say something, but I didn't report it.
You didn't report it? So
no.
What, he put you back on the elevator and?
He just threw me back in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
I was a virgin. It just threw me back in the chair. And brought me up to 7th floor. His girlfriend was the nurse that was taking care of, they have a couple of nurses taking care of people during the week.
Uh-huh.
So his girlfriend, she was a good friend of mine before he even met her.
So she was one of the nurses there
that took care of me that night.
Mm-hmm.
And like before I said, they check on us to see, how we're doing physically and stuff like that. So she took me into the shower and noticed that I kept bleeding real bad, bleeding.
So he really hurt you, yeah.
And I was hurting, bleeding, till almost all of the blood came out of me.
Wow.
And she said, and then the next day, Hiram Rapper was working that day. And he said, "Bitch, you asked for it." I said, "No, I didn't. I didn't ask for
it." Wait, the guy who did that to you says you asked for it?
Yeah, he said, "Bitch, you asked for it." I didn't do anything. I told him no. Don't touch me. I told him no. I'm not like that. No. But he took that as a yes. When you say not really, I feel that's a no. I feel.
Right,
I
right.
may not know that, but I felt like
So he assaulted you.
that. After he assaulted me, he said, I asked for it.
Wow, that's terrible. This was a full-grown man. This wasn't a young boy, was it?
No, a full grown man.
Oh, okay.
And then he got his girlfriend before they got married. No,
After he did that to you.
they got married. Mindy and him got married.
After he did that to
And
you.
she got pregnant by him.
She basically helped him cover up a crime.
Mm.
That man had enough influence to get that other woman to participate in a crime and help him clean up
Clean
an
up
assault
his shit.
of another woman that is in a wheelchair, cerebral palsy, basically bedbound. He would do something like that and then talk his woman into supporting his efforts. This is crazy.
So the next day, all of a sudden, him and Mindy got married. She got pregnant after he assaulted me and everything like that.
That is terrible.
She came in my room and she was almost 8 months pregnant and still took care of me. And the bastard said, you asked for it.
What?
Loud and clear.
Did he get fired from his job?
He got fired, but I don't know for what.
So he probably was
'Cause
violating other people
other
the
people.
whole damn time.
Mhm.
And somehow you guys weren't reporting it. You weren't going to see a lawyer or a judge or the
No.
caretakers there to say that this guy is out here violating these
Because what happens is during that I learned is that when you get injured like that, anybody, a male or female, your body shuts down. You get in the cradle position and you cannot talk about it.
I know. That
Whether
must
for
have
a
been
man,
horrible.
for a man or a woman.
Hmm. That is horrible.
And people will say to me, well, why didn't you go to somebody to talk about it? No, because that's what happens to your body.
It just shuts you down.
It shuts down. They did all kinds of tests on me, like they did they do the test to see the rape test and all that shit.
So they did a test.
I mean, I should have said something about it, but I couldn't at that time because, like I said, you shut down with that happened.
Yeah, that's terrible. Miss
And
G-Money.
I didn't even let my mom know, may she rest in peace, till she was laid to rest.
So those two stories you just told us, those about the two times that you had.
Bad experiences with them.
Last guy, that was clearly not consensual. The other guy, so you only had been with two men, basically. One was forced, and the other one, you were okay being with him.
Yes.
And I don't want to dwell on this one, but after you was in that facility for whatever time, what happened next in your life?
Then I was.
Were you in that facility when you met your husband?
Not the one where I got injured at. Not that one.
So you went to another facility.
I was in Beth Abraham.
Where was that at?
In the Bronx.
You went to another one.
When Errol came to get me out of that facility. When I say Errol, I'm talking about my husband.
Your husband, right.
Mm-hmm. So, when he got me out of that facility, I got pregnant.
Oh, you got pregnant. You and your husband got it in.
We got married and we went to City Hall in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And we got married. And then when I came back to the facility, 'cause we used to go to his mom and dad's house and chill out over
Okay.
there. And we had the little radio, the little brown radio that you turn the little knob on and turn the music on and stuff. and because we used to try it. I don't want to be rude on the phone, but we used to try it at mom and dad's house when they would go down south for, check on their house down there. So they would ask Errol to, take care of the house as much as he could. And he would bring me over to his house. And we would do our thing, in certain areas and stuff. But nothing was happening.
Okay. So y'all were having your fun. You had got past the trauma you had experienced, and you finally met a decent man.
Decent
right?
person.
You finally met a decent man, right?
Yeah.
So you and him were dating. You were spending time at his mother's house.
Yeah, because he always used to bring me over there. Like, yeah.
Oh, he would come pick you up?
He would come pick me up.
He could drive?
No, he would come pick me up. He would, we called the place, with Leewood, the group with the red hats and I forgot, the Guardian Angels, yeah.
Okay.
The Guardian Angels came to Earl's house.
Really?
And because we had the number where they could come and help a person in a wheelchair go down the train steps.
That was before they had all of these elevators. So
yeah, so they came to Earl's house, Earl's mom and dad's house, and they said, "What do you need?" So he said, "I need to carry my wife down the train steps to, take her to, and the one gentleman that I could say that was really cool, his name was Shotgun from the Guardian Angels.
Shotgun, if you out there, what's up?"
He said, "Man, beautiful young lady, you were kind of heavy because we had to carry you inside the chair.
And the chair at the same time.
One step at a time down the train step." But they were really nice. Those people like that, I would say, were good gentlemen because they really cared about people.
Okay. So you and your husband finally get married, right?
Yeah.
And where were you living at when you got married?
I was living at 700 White Plains Road.
Oh, you was in the Bronx?
That's the first.
Did your husband still let you was living with your mother? Or that was a facility?
I was already in 700 White Plains Road first.
That's a facility?
And yeah.
Okay.
And then the second one was the one I just finished talking about.
So when your husband married you, did he leave you in a facility or did he get an apartment? Did he get a home for y'all?
When we got married, it was so crazy. It was so fun. Because when we got married, we went down to City Hall in Manhattan. Errol had his suit on. He was dressed real nice, curls and stuff. Everybody was like, "Uh-oh." He had a blue suit. I remember that. I just want to talk about that because that's a good man. That's a good man. And he showed me that he cared in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
We had difficulty because, everybody has a little difficulty
in relationships, yeah.
And he would pick me up, carry me like firemen's carry, in your hands or over your shoulders or whatever.
Right.
So, and then I didn't understand anything about being married. I'm going to be honest. I didn't understand about that. And Mom told me that if you do anything, you got to be married first. Don't let him have his time because I think that you guys should be married first. That's what Mom told me. And I, followed. I said, "Errol, Mom said that if we're going to do this," and he agreed with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
He agreed with her, no problem with that. She said, "When I'm going to teach both of you about how to protect yourself so that nobody got nothing to say to you guys or take you to somewhere where you don't know, and just to help you guys out. That's all."
Okay.
That's all.
So, where did y'all live at? Because you got married, you were in the facility when you were dating.
We lived Well, we lived with Errol's mom and dad.
Okay.
Cause
You lived in their house?
because my mom was trying to get us an apartment like this one here, but they were getting ready to move down south, and they wanted Errol to come down there with them.
So this was happening in New York.
So mom
His parents
said,
was moving him down south, right?
so mom said, since we married, since you're husband and wife, you should go down there with your husband.
I agree. Yeah.
That's what mom said.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any difficulty, I could bring your ass back up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that for fun.
Yeah.
So, but she said, I want you to try to be the best person you can be. Because it's going to be hard for Errol to pick you up every day. Things like that mom explained to me.
Mm-hmm.
She even said he was a good man. And for me to
In
just
spite of the
realize
situation,
that, yes.
in spite of the situation,
Yes,
you
to
with
realize
cerebral
that,
palsy
yes.
and not being so,
Yes.
having a lot of motor skills,
Yes.
the gentleman still wanted to
Yes.
marry you, still
Yes.
took you down south, right? Moved you down with his
Mhm.
family.
Yes.
And did you and him have your own house?
They had got a trailer home.
Okay, that can be nice.
So, and they put a ramp on there too.
So they bought a trailer home
And they built the ramp.
for his wife and their son.
And they put the railing,
The ramp on
to
you.
hook up the railing around the ramp, so that we, the side, I don't know.
So you can get up the ramp to get into the house. All right.
So I thought that was cool
Yeah,
because
they did a good job.
I had 1,000 motorized wheelchairs when I was down there. Not 1,000, I'm just kidding. But the Power 9000, that was my first motorized wheelchair that I got down south. And I was like, what? And I was like, I'm not going to talk about myself. But generally, it got difficult later on, and I should have better more appreciated everybody. Not only Errol, but everybody.
Okay. So you and Errol, just how long were you guys married?
Oh, we got married in '88.
And
September.
Did y'all separate?
28th. I can tell you. Can I tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got married September 28th in '88. That was before Dad passed and everybody.
Right. So when you guys got married, you stayed married for how long?
A long time.
How long?
Since '88 till about 99, I came back up here because Mom sent for me to come back up here.
So 88 to 99.
We're technically, well, you know what happened.
You're still married.
Yeah.
But when you and him separated, y'all were together about what? How long?
I came back up here in '99.
Okay, from 88. So what's that, about 11 years?
Yeah.
So you guys were married for 11 years.
And we didn't get divorced or a legal separation.
You just stopped being together.
I just came up here and he stayed down there.
Did you cook for your husband?
Unfortunately, no.
Did your husband cook for you?
Well, his dad cooked for us.
Oh, his dad did a lot of the cooking.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. The dad was a good cook.
Yeah.
He was a good cook.
I liked his dad. His dad was cool. His mom was cool too.
So his parents were married.
Yeah.
Right? And your parents were married.
For a long time.
They were married for a long time. So
When I went down south, I never, because my grandparents were from down south. My grandmother's from South Carolina, and my granddad's from North Carolina. Mom's parents, I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
And his parents were from the south. So when I got down there, they were like, I said, hey, what's going on? They knew that I was from New York because of my accent. So I was like, hey, good to see you. Thank you for welcoming me, because they made big meals.
Okay.
To celebrate me coming down. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool.
All right.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So when you and him separated and you came up here in 99,
Mm-hmm.
why did you and your husband separate?
Because he started getting angry because that he had, I got him a job when we were down there.
Mm-hmm.
But he started getting angry at me. And he would say mean things. But he was a good guy in general. I'm not going to say that it was bad because he didn't have to do what he did for me.
Okay.
I can honestly say that.
All right. So now you're back in New York.
Yes.
You're back in New York, and where are you staying?
Right now,
When you first came back here in 99, where were you staying?
I was staying with Mom.
Okay. And your mom and dad were still married?
Yeah.
Was your brother still living there?
But my dad passed. Well, that's another story. My dad passed away in '88.
Okay, so when you came back to New York, your dad had already passed away.
Yeah, I had to come up for his funeral.
For sending off, right?
Yeah.
So when you came back to New York, you moved in with your moms before you got everything situated.
Mm-hmm.
Was your brother living in the house?
My brother, let me briefly tell you what happened. Mom, just like she did for me, she bought Errol a house.
Not Errol.
Well, she would have bought Errol a house.
That's your husband's name, Errol.
Yeah. But she bought Andrew a house.
That's your brother.
Literally bought him a house, paid it in full, but he didn't have to go to the bank or get no loans to own this house.
Wow, Mom's hooked him up.
Just like she did for me right here.
Yeah, she got this place for you.
She got plenty of places for me here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, so your brother wasn't living there with your mother when you came back to New York?
No, not at all.
So it was just you and your mother?
Yeah, living in Mom's house. Yeah.
Okay. And how was that going?
It was going good. And then when Andrew found out that I came back.
Your brother Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
When Andrew came and Mom called him and said, yo, she didn't say yo, I'm just saying that. But she said, Andrew, your sister's back over here. So he brings his best friend Peanut Butter. And they come over to Mom's house.
His friend's name was Peanut Butter?
Peanut Butter, yeah.
What up, Peanut Butter?
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay.
Wherever he is, he was cool people.
All right, what happened?
And Andrew felt that I came back to make Mom have a hard time again with me.
Oh, because now Mom's had to bathe you and wash you.
And start all over again.
Okay.
He didn't even speak to me when he came in the door.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just hauled off, and I ain't gonna curse on the movie yet. He just hauled off and slapped me hard like you would fight a man in the street.
What? Why would your brother? That's ridiculous. Wait a minute. You only told me a short, brief synopsis of a woman who's lived 63 years, and I guess this is the fourth guy, your brother. We had one good man in Errol. Now we back home dealing with your brother, and he came and smacked you.
He didn't even get halfway through the door. And Peanut Butter even said to him, he said, Andrew, why, instead of you talking to your sister, why did you haul off and slap the shit out of her?
Damn.
Like a man.
That's what the friend said.
Yeah, that's what Peanut Butter was like, hey, Gwen, I heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you.
Wow. Did he ever tell you why he slapped this mess out of you?
He never told
Were
me.
you talking belligerent and zesty to your mother?
I was so happy to see Mom and Andrew and Peanut Butter. I was like, hey, know,
He didn't say nothing to you. He just walked over and
he just walked off and beat me like a man.
what? Why would he do that?
I guess he felt, I don't know what, he didn't even talk about what he
So
felt like.
anything we say now, we're just guessing. Because he didn't say anything.
He didn't talk about it. He just came in. Mom told him that I was back home and to come and see me. You know, as a brother. If you don't like what Gwen did, please don't do no shit up in my house. You know, that's why I figured that Mom would say that. Because she would be right. You know?
That's terrible.
And when he hauled off and, man, because we're like twins. Andrew born in January and I'm born in October the same year.
Yeah, you told us.
Yeah.
Told us that.
I
Wow.
was like, wow.
What did your mother say when he slapped you like that?
Man, when mom saw him do that, and she was like, Andrew, if you wasn't going like a man, I could snatch your ass down.
She didn't like that he did that.
She stood up. Andrew 6'4". Mom stood up and said, how dare you hurt your sister like that? Yes, she came back home. I saved her life, and I saved you from going to jail down south.
Wow. This story that you're telling us is so deep. You've been through so much, and we're kind of running through it quickly. Some of these things I know a little bit more details about. We're just not getting them out. We're just trying to go over everything and give you a synopsis of what's been like.
Why I say that? If he had any certain feelings, he could have said, Mom and Gwen, come over to the side. Gwen, I know why Mom sent for you to come up here, but she did not want me to go to jail if I would have went down south. Because whatever did to you later on, Andrew would have went to jail.
That sounds about right. He already could have went to jail for just slapping you like that.
Because Andrew would have tried to kill Errol for what he did to me. You know, later on, I'm not talking about.
Well, we really didn't get into all of the details of why you left Errol.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you were saying that he started to get angry.
Yes, he did.
So he must have laid hands on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like what kind of hands? Did he caress you with love and care at the end? Or did he beat your ass?
He beat my ass.
What? So in the beginning, the husband was good.
In the beginning, it was good. I'm not going to lie. That was very honest. But as I got pregnant, he changed. You know how when you take a bite out of somebody and then you pull the skin off, you bite the skin off.
Mm-hmm. He bit you? Wait a minute.
Bit in my neck. Bit me hard. Like you would grab a piece of skin off the chicken and just...
He bit your skin off?
Mom saw it. She had to fix that.
Did he hit you?
No.
Never hit you. He just bit you.
Yeah, and I was like, why you did that? Oh, because I didn't want the baby. You did. Right?
So he got you pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's married to you. He know you ain't going nowhere because you in a wheelchair. You're basically home all of the time, right?
Yeah.
He knows you there. You're with your aide.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get pregnant and he don't want the baby.
Nope.
And he bites you, basically attacks you in some way because he doesn't want the baby.
He literally bit
Were you
me.
bleeding when he bit you?
I had like a bad reaction to his bite and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow.
He didn't pull the skin off. No.
Okay, but it was a hard bite. He bit
hard enough where it could have came off.
Wow.
Then he
So now that you're pregnant with his baby, right?
I was happy because I didn't even think I could get pregnant first of all.
Okay.
But Mom taught us both about protection, and because she's an RN, you know. Then after they did the procedure on me to take mine away, then his mother.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
You gotta
all right.
rewind that a little bit.
I'm gonna leave that alone because it bothers me too much.
Okay, so we'll leave it alone.
Yep.
Okay. So finally, you in your mother's house, and you move out of your mother's house, and she gets you the place you have now.
Yes.
And how was it going when you had your own place finally?
It was going really good.
Did you have
I had. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you have care aides assist you with living and all of that?
Yes, I had 24 hours, and why? Because Mom passed away.
So you had 24-hour care.
Yeah.
Did you have a live-in?
I had 24 hours, but she went home and came back over here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But to make a long story short, she tried to put me in the nursing home, the other one at Arlington Avenue in the Bronx.
Wait a minute. The lady that was taking care of you
on the 24/7 brought me from here to the nursing home, and the agency didn't know about it. So, and her and the lady met at 125 my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
The lady and her and my aunt's daughter, they were cahoots.
Put your arm down, dog.
They were, trying to make me stay over there. They would come over here to the management office and say that I was never going to get out of there. But yet, the lady was staying with her girlfriend over here, her daughter over here, the granddaughter over here. But I was able to get out of the nursing home for the day to come over here and tell them that this is my apartment. But they said we would have to go to court.
So let me just try to summarize here.
Mm-hmm.
You were living in your apartment. You had a home health care aide taking care of you.
Yeah.
And one day she comes in and puts you in a chair and basically takes you to a nursing home.
Yeah.
Did you want to be in a nursing home?
No. And then told me, what she told the agency was I didn't have no place to live. And I knew that I had a place to live. So I called the police. From where I was. They said, well, do you have the keys to your apartment? I said, yes. And I went to court from the facility where I was on Arlington Avenue. And they said, well, I filled out the wrong papers in the court. Because remember, didn't know too much about that. If I would have I filled out the legal lockout, which means that the person could stay there and I could just come into my own apartment. I said, no, I don't want it like that. So every judge that I spoke to said that she had to get out of there, even if it was a different type of court. Every judge said that she don't have the right to do that.
Okay, so just to summarize everything right here, make sure that I understand.
Okay.
The lady tried to take your apartment from you. Mm-hmm. She moved you into a facility.
Yeah.
After she moved you to the facility, you had to file court papers to try to get your apartment back.
Yeah. She told them at the facility that I had nowhere to live. That I gave her my apartment, and I did not do that.
So she basically was just lying.
Yeah.
Trying to take over your apartment
Yeah.
and make it her own.
And what I did was file the wrong legal papers where I could have got her out of it.
Did you have assistance from legal aid?
I had assistance from Adult Protective Services. They gave me a lawyer. She was good, man. She was good.
So she worked with you with the paperwork.
Yeah, because
What happened at court?
and you know how I like to keep stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I like to hold on to certain papers.
Right.
I had one piece of paper. I'll say it again so everybody knows not to let it happen to you. I had one piece of paper that proved that I went in and out of that facility. So my lawyer said, do you have anything to prove that she illegally took me to the nursing home and told them that I did not have a place to live? And I went to my little pocket. In fact, I still got that little pocket. That's a good luck pocket. And my lawyer said, do you have anything to prove that you were in the nursing home, that she put you there? So I had one piece of paper that said that I could go in and out the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, good. So everybody was at the court. Her girlfriend's daughter, the aide that brought me over there and told them that that I gave her my apartment and all that lying shit.
This
right?
is supposed to be a healthcare professional.
A healthcare professional.
Is operating that way.
But I got up every day and I dressed good, and I was showed up at court at 8:30 in the morning from the nursing home where she put me at.
How long did it take altogether to get your apartment back?
Wow.
A year?
Because I filled out the wrong paper in the first place?
Yeah, how long did it take altogether from the day she tried to run her scam to take over your apartment until the day you got back in here? How long did it take?
It didn't really take that long because every judge I went to, even though
So what did it take? 3 months?
Took about a couple months.
Yeah, so
Not
a
even
couple of months
Mhm.
of a healthcare professional putting you
I can tell you what
out of your apartment. Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question here.
Mhm.
She put you out of your apartment. Did you, after you went to court, did you file any criminal proceedings against the woman, against the facility that she worked for?
Oh, let me tell you what I did on that part.
Were you able to sue and get a lawsuit from this agency for what the agency did? What agency did she work for?
Feds. You know Miss Hill that you see on 125 and 121.
Uh-huh.
She was my nurse coordinator.
Right. You had a nurse coordinator.
She Miss Hill, the lady you see
Miss Hill, okay.
Yeah. So every judge that I went to, even though I filled out the wrong paper, says I could go back home. But that meant that she would still be living in here, and I could just go back home here. I could just come back here.
So it was like y'all was going to be roommates. Y'all was going to both be living
Yeah,
here.
I said, no, I don't want that. Then every day I will get up and I will come over here with a brand new lease. I will go down to the management office. They got documents down in the management office anyway. And they said, Ms. Shaw, there's nothing that we could do. You have to handle it at court. So I had all the guards that was working with me at the other facility. They came over here and they served her the papers. And
okay,
she was acting like, oh, I went away to camp. She was trying to keep her apartment, trying to keep my apartment. And she was
You're leaning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to make you look gorgeous.
Okay, I'm sorry. She was like telling everybody I went to camp. I went this way and that way. But they said, no, we know you. I called over here every day to let them know it's my name on the lease. Nobody else is mine.
Wow. Couldn't believe that a healthcare professional, the entire agency.
Well,
Did you
believe it.
have visiting nurse services at the time?
From facts?
Yes.
Yeah, the vision.
So you had additional people. You had a care manager, right? Case manager, care manager.
What do you mean inside the facility?
I mean somebody who came to the place to check that these women were doing a good job.
No.
Nobody ever came to the house from VNS or anything like that?
No.
So that's why these women could get away from
that
get away with committing these type of acts. It's
but
crazy.
that wasn't VNS. That was a totally
different organization.
Before VNS.
FEGS.
But yeah. So what I did
after you went through that, you weren't able to sue the agency that sent this woman to your house?
What happened was, like that with that is, I came over here with the keys, everything to get in, because I filled out the wrong papers in court.
We went over that. You filled out the wrong papers.
Yeah.
So you keep saying that. Don't say that. Let's move on.
Oh,
don't keep telling us you filled out the paperwork.
I'm so sorry.
We know you filled out the paperwork.
I'm so sorry.
You get your apartment back. Let's get to that. You filled out the paperwork. You saw the judges. They all told you
and then
the apartment is yours. Wait a second. And you get the apartment back. You get the woman out of here, right?
She had 7 days to get up out of there.
7 days. You move back into your apartment, and that pretty much that story, that chapter is over.
Yeah.
So let's move on from there.
Okay.
The woman did something illegal. Nobody got sued. They got away with it, basically.
I got her the fuck up out of here.
Okay. And so you move back into your apartment, and then what's going on in your life?
Then after I moved back to my apartment, then the man from that was going to ICS before I got over there, and sorry about that.
So you had a friend that you knew from ICS.
Well, he wasn't really my friend.
But it was an associate, somebody that you talked to. That
he was over there at the facility that I was at.
So you and him were attending the same facility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have got out there on my own because I had a case manager over there. I could have, got from there on my own. And the Adult Protective Services accused me of A1 from the last facility that I was.
Wait a second. I don't know what story you're telling. I'm saying, stop for a second. Usa. You get your apartment back from the lady.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you move back into your apartment.
I couldn't come back in
when it was all over and all said and done, you got your apartment back.
Yeah.
Let's start from right there.
Okay.
You move back into your apartment, and then what's happening?
Then,
did you have a roommate?
The man from, he was already at ICS. So the man, from, where he was at, over there in the back in the yard where I was still in the last facility I was, Beth Abraham.
Do you see you're going back to the facility instead of saying, I got my apartment back from right
here?
here?
Oh yeah, when I got my apartment back, I moved in.
Moved back into your apartment,
back in.
They replaced that lady and gave you some new aides to assist you with living, right? And life was okay.
Life was good.
And then you had a friend that had a problem.
Yeah.
A guy.
And I never should have opened the door,
but basically he was in a bad situation and trouble, and he needed an address and he needed a place to stay for a little while.
Because he was always in the hospital. And they said now he has his own place. I want to clarify that. he has his own place, but he had stairs, and the hospital would not release him unless he could find a place that he could roll right
In
in.
and out, right?
Yeah,
Because his apartment had stairs.
yeah. And that one, you see my teeth? He didn't do this, but he did the first thing that loosened up my.
What did he do to you? This is a big man. He's a big man, right?
He's 6'4".
He's a big man, 6'4", right? So he was in a situation. Just to summarize where we're at so far, he was living in his place.
Yeah, his own place.
He was being released from the hospital, and they didn't want to release him because he had steps to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Your place, you have an elevator building.
Yeah, and I could just
so you helped him out by allowing him to use his address and to stay here during his recovery.
Which was the wrong thing to do.
So you said your teeth he's to blame?
My first time in my teeth getting loose. My own teeth, not now.
Okay, so
he used to take my mouth, before the.
Just go ahead. He used to do.
Take my mouth and squeeze the hell out of it.
Like grab your face and just squeeze it hard as he could.
Then it made my teeth shift immediately.
So he was basically prying the teeth out of your mouth, in your mouth, while he was squeezing your face.
Yeah, and he took one of my. That's why I don't like reaches too much. He took my reacher, beating the shit out of me in my arm. The reaches hurt because they got metal, and he would beat it. You could see the scars on my arms right here.
So the reacher that you use to reach things that are out of your grasp, he took that.
Beat me with it in my arms and stuff. Then he got mad, and then because I had to stay with him until the judge said I could move back over here. He got mad, and he said, "Here, bitch, here's the bedpan," and I spit out a whole lot of blood.
After he squeezed your teeth.
A whole lot of blood in that pink bedpan I got right there in that goddamn bathroom. He said, "Here, bitch, spit it out."
Wow.
And his sister came over there the night that happened. He got mad because I needed assistance and I didn't get aid service until the judge and everything worked it out for me to get a new aid service. So his aide would be kind enough to, give me a little hand.
Because he had his own aid.
Yeah. So, and his sister came over there to his house, because that's where I had stayed, so I came back over here to, stay here, right? His sister said, "Why did you do that?" He said, he called me every kind of name, all these bitches and everything.
So basically, you're in your bed laying down.
Yeah, laying down.
Right? And he comes in and does this to you. Does he tell you why he's hitting you and grabbing your face?
I let him stay right there in my room.
Got an extra room in the back, right?
Yeah. So every night he used to come around, come right where my chair is at. Take the control. At that time, I didn't have that kind of control.
The control for your bed?
Yeah. He used to throw it and bruise my chest because he used to throw it hard.
But what was he saying?
Calling me everything.
But why?
Because he had anger tendencies. And I didn't know anything about that. Nobody told me nothing about that. So I didn't understand about that. Because he got angry because his aide would help me go to the bathroom. Only because
his aide would help you go to the bathroom because your aide stuff wasn't in place.
Yeah.
And he would get angry.
Yeah.